so many books to haul. I really do have a feeling this is going to be quite a long video. Hi there everyone, and today I have a book haul for you lot. This book haul is going to be an April/May book haul, and hopefully you're all going to enjoy. You know, basically it's kind of different to normal, which is kind of weird, but I've kind of got books sort of in 2s and 3s, and it's not really been enough for a specific date haul, so I thought that to combine everything for 2 months would be a better idea, just so there's not loads of sort of random spammy videos and just sort of loads of different ones. It's probably better to combine everything and just compact everything into one. So hopefully you're all going to enjoy, and let's get going. So if we start at what I believe is the beginning of April, I actually got 2 books that day, and I think I only got 2 because it was on buy one get one for half price, which is a really good deal. I love seeing deals on books, you know, it really just sort of persuades me to buy the book, and I always sort of find good books on the deals as well. I just basically love deals. So the first book I got on that day was Skulduggery Pleasant Deathbringer, and this is the 6th book in the Skulduggery Pleasant series by Landy, and it's actually a really good series, you know, I really do enjoy it. Now, I've actually only read the first 2 books in this series, so it's kind of weird that I'm saying I love it so much, but it really is really good. I was introduced to the Skulduggery Pleasant books by Book Addict 2011, or George as some of you may know her. I've absolutely loved them since I started reading them, and I just can't wait to read more. Might be a bit before I get onto this book, but hopefully in summer I'm actually going to sort of crack on with this series and read as much as I can, because actually I think this is quite possibly the best paperback Skulduggery Pleasant book that I have, so you know, it's really cool. In total this is 603 pages, so it's quite a long read, so you know, it might take me a while to read it, but generally the Skulduggery Pleasant books are children's books, and that means that I can read them quite fast, so probably only take me a day or 2, so I just can't wait to read it. Just before I move on very quickly, I'd just like to say that I'm not going to read the blurb for this book like I would normally do in a book haul, because it's the 6th book in the series, and I've actually just looked on my shelf at the first book, and that doesn't really have much of a blurb either, so I'm now just going to quickly sort of sum up what it's about. So, Skulduggery Pleasant is a skeleton detective, and Valkyrie is a 12-year-old girl in the first book, and basically it's sort of just a detective story with the skeleton, and it's just so great, you know. It's a great fantasy read, and I think it can be enjoyed by absolutely anyone. It can be enjoyed by young people and older people as well, so I think it really is really interesting actually. The characters are very strong, the plot's very strong, the writing's maybe not great, but it's still really good actually. I'd probably give the writing maybe a 4 out of 5 if I was rating it. That was, I know, the last rating I give for the Skulduggery Pleasant writing in the 2nd book, but you know, maybe by this 6th book he may have improved, so you know, I think it's just a great book overall. Definitely one to check out. And the next book that I also got at the same time with Skulduggery Pleasant, as I mentioned earlier, is Warhorse by Morpurgo. Now, I'm not actually going to talk loads about this because I have already done a review on it, so if you want to know more, definitely check out that review. It wasn't too long ago actually, obviously it was sometime in April, so definitely go check that out because I did enjoy this book. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 overall. It was a nice read, but it didn't really surprise me or shock me or anything, which is what I always look for in reads. You know, 4 out of 5 is a really good rating, but if I'm giving it higher than that, it really sort of shocks me and moves me out of my seat, and I'm not sure if this necessarily did, but it's still a really good book for horse lovers and animal lovers and anyone really. It's really cool actually. I really do like animal books really. I've read a lot of animal books such as Warriors and things like that. I just really enjoy animal books really. I just love being told the story from the perspective of an animal, and I think it's just really different and enjoyable to read. It provides a great change. Well, not much of a change for me considering most of the books I read are animal books, but it's a change for anyone, you know. It's such sort of variation and it's just great. There's not loads on the back about this book actually, but I'm just going to read what it says just so you sort of know about it. And it says, I saw the grey soldiers ahead of us raise their rifles and heard the death rattle of the machine gun. A powerful story from the truest of friendships in the worst of wars from the award-winning master storyteller Morpurgo. This edition includes 8 pages of colour photographs from the film. The photographs are actually really beautiful actually. I really do like them photographs actually. I haven't seen the film, but I definitely want to check it out soon. It just sounds so great, and the book was really good, so I'm sure the film would be as good as well. It's really short. It's only 182 pages, so you can read it really fast, and the writing inside it is very big as well, so a very easy quick read. Now, all the next books from these are books that I've recently got. I think I've actually got all the next few books in May. I might might have got one of them in April right at the end, but I think most of them I got in May of the last week or two, and they're really, really good. Now, the next 3 books are all part of a series, actually, and that is part of the Medusa project by Sophie McKenzie. That is a really, really good series. I have actually read the first book and really enjoyed it. Can't wait to read the others. Now, I saw these on offer in The Works, which is a great store, and actually I managed to get 3 books for £5, and it's great to see such great books on offer in such a great store. I absolutely love The Works. If you're in the UK, definitely check it out. It's such a great store. So the 3 Medusa project books I got were firstly Hostage, The Rescue, and Hunted. Absolutely love that Hunted cover, actually, the blue and the black, and it's just beautiful, actually. Sorry I always mention covers, but I absolutely love covers. They really do attract me to buy a book, and I never judge a book by its cover. I think it just really sort of enhances the reading experience if a book has a good cover. If any of you feel this way, definitely tell me in the comments below. So I'll just go over to my bookshelf and get the first book so I can read the blurb for you lot, because I don't want to read any blurbs of these ones. Obviously it'll spoil it for you lot. And my book hauls and book reviews as well, for that matter, never aim to spoil anything. So the first book has a very appropriate title, and it is called The Setup. Now I'm just going to read the blurb for you lot of this one, just so you know what the whole series is about. 14 years ago, scientist William Fox implanted 4 babies with a Medusa gene, the gene for psychic abilities. But Fox died and the babies were hidden away for years. Now the teenagers are unaware that their psychic powers are about to kick in. Cocky, charismatic Nico thinks his emerging telekinetic abilities will bring him money, power, and the girl of his dreams. He's about to find out just how wrong he is. So that first book's actually really, really good, so I just can't wait to read more of that series, actually. I think it's going to be such an interesting series. I love the sort of science fiction aspect of it, and the genes and the implantedness and stuff. Implantedness isn't a word, but you know. It is now. And it's just a great series overall. So these are children's books again, but they're so good. So the Medusa project is a great series, basically. And yeah, in terms of lengths of these books, they're actually all under 300 pages. Most of them are just over 200 pages. So, you know, they're very, very short again. Very quick, easy reads. And the next 2 books are absolutely incredible. Obviously, as you may guess, they are Hunger Games related books, because the Hunger Games is just so incredible. I absolutely love it so much. I'm not going to go into a ramble right now about how good it is, but it is just so good. And to any haters out there, what on earth are you thinking? So the first Hunger Games related book I got is The Tribute Guide, and this is really cool, actually. A very mysterious cover on there, very dark, which is exactly what the Hunger Games is. The back of it is great as well, and I just absolutely love it. You know, I'm just gonna love this book when I read it, and it's just so great by the looks of it. You know, there's some great pictures in here just flicking through, which I'll show you in a second, and there's great information about everything, and I just love these guides, actually. They're really, really cool. Very informative as well for fans of the series, and maybe people that are planning to read the series. They'll definitely give you an idea about what the series is about if you want more information. So all these pictures are taken from the movie, but they're so good, you know. I absolutely loved the movie when I saw it, and this is just an example of some pictures. We have President Snow and, of course, Seneca Crane there with his beard. Everyone loves Seneca Crane's beard. Obviously Peter Millark, Effie Trinket, Rue, Katniss, and just generally some amazing pictures in this book, actually. I really like the detail of them, and I think all the cast of the movie were perfect, actually. The perfect castings, actually. I'm so glad that the creators made great choices with their actors and actresses, because it just worked out so good. To prevent any more gushing, I think I better read out the blurb, because otherwise I'm just going to be sat here gushing as much as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. Welcome to Panem's 74th Hunger Games. Here is the ultimate guide to the 24 tributes participating in Panem's 74th Annual Hunger Games. Follow the tributes' journey from the reaping to the games with an exclusive look at the highlights along the way. The trip to the capital, the tribute parade, the stations of the training centre, and the interviews with Caesar Flickerman. Plus you'll find the profiles of President Snow and Seneca Crane, portraits of each tribute, and detailed information on each district's industry. This unique guide to the tributes contains never before seen photos and quotes from the film, and is a must-have for any Hunger Games fan. Don't miss the other official movie books based on the Hunger Games film, the Hunger Games official illustrated movie companion, and the World of the Hunger Games. Definitely have to check them others out as soon as I can. The next one is actually one of them, and that is the World of the Hunger Games. So let's get talking about that. So here it is, and it's a beautiful cover. This is a hardback book, actually, and it's really nice, actually. I do enjoy reading hardback books in some aspects. They're obviously a lot more expensive than paperbacks, but the actual feeling of them is kind of nicer, I think. I just think it's less stressful stressful. You're not really bothered about sort of bending the corners of the spine. And now I must mention this is my sister's book, and she did actually buy this book, so it's hers, it's not mine. But you know, she said I could show you, and I'm actually keeping it on my shelf until she's finished Mockingjay. I sort of advised her that it wouldn't be a good idea to read this until she'd read Mockingjay, just in case there were any spoilers or anything. I generally think it's based on the first movie, as I'm assuming, but I'm not entirely sure, so I better read that first and just sort of tell her if there's any spoilers or not. But I'm sure by the time I've read it, she'll have finished Mockingjay, because Mockingjay isn't actually as good, but all the Hunger Games books are very gripping and exciting, so you just have to keep reading. So again, this has some great pictures and illustration from the movie, such as them, that, etc. As I've said numerous times already, it's a super movie. Absolutely love the picture on the front of that, as well as the front cover. I actually have that as a poster actually up on my wall, right up there. Hello, Katniss Everdeen, the girl on fire! Yes, let's read the blurb. Welcome to Panem, the world of the Hunger Games. This is the definitive full-colour guide to Panem. Gorgeous photographs from the movie make this rich visual dictionary for the incredible world that Suzanne Collins created and that has come to life on the big screen. It showcases the major players and participants in the Hunger Games, the life and home of Katniss Everdeen, and the perils of the games themselves. Injuries, fire, mutations, and all the rest. Glossary and new quotes from Suzanne Collins herself complete the package. Fans of both the Hunger Games novels and a stunning recent film will treasure this book. And I definitely will treasure this book. I treasure anything Hunger Games related because I love them so much. Let's stop with all its gush. Actually, maybe not, because the next two books are actually John Green books, and of course everyone loves John Green so much, and you know, I haven't actually read any of his books yet, which is kind of shocking considering nearly every single person I know has read a book by him, and I haven't. So the first book I got by John Green is The Fault in Our Stars, and I've heard so many good things about this book actually. Apparently it's like one of the best books of this year. You know, it did come out in January of this year, and I've heard so many great things about it. Apparently it's very, very sad, there's a lot of emotion in there, and it makes a lot of people cry. It just sounds like the perfect book. You know, the characters sound really good, the plot sounds very gripping, the writing sounds super, the enjoyment factor of it sounds just amazing, and you know, it just sounds so good, and I just can't wait to read this. I really want to read it soon because I'm sure I'm going to love it like everybody else. I'm sure I'm going to give it like probably a perfect rating, if not an almost perfect rating, because it just sounds so good. I've not heard or seen a bad review for this book at all, so it must be good, because usually a lot of books, even the really good ones, have some sort of bad reviews. I've not heard or read any bad reviews of this. It just sounds great. There's certainly a lot of praise on the back of this book, and then on the inside cover there is sort of like a blurb, which I'm now going to read out for you lot so you know what it's about. I'm sure most of you know the basic synopsis, but I'm just going to read the blurb for those who don't. Despite the tumour-shrinking medical miracle that has brought her a few years, Hazel has never been anything but terminal, her final chapter inscribed upon diagnosis. But when a gorgeous plot twist named Augustus Waters suddenly appears at the Cancer Kids support group, Hazel's story is about to be completely rewritten. Insightful, bold, irrelevant, and raw. The Fault in Our Stars is an award-winning author's John Green's most ambitious and heartbreaking work yet, brilliantly exploring the funny, thrilling, and tragic business of being alive and in love. It just looks and sounds phenomenal. I have to read this now. So the next book I have is Will Grayson by John Green and David Leatherfan. This is sort of like a collab kind of author kind of thing. Rather than creating sort of a pen name for them both, they've just had the both original names. And look how many names there are on the front of this book. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you count a New York Times bestseller. Wow, so many names. And again, this sounds like a really intriguing book as well. And now I'll just read the blurb for you lot. One cold night in a most unlikely corner of Chicago, two strangers cross paths. Two teens with the same name, running in two very different circles, suddenly finding their lives going in new and unexpected directions, accumulating in heroic turns of heart, and the most epic musical ever to grace the high school stage. A lot of good praise on the back of this again, and it just sounds and looks great, you know. I really do like that cover, and it's just really cool. One thing that does annoy me though, for some reason, this outside cover is not joining up to the rest of the book. It's just really annoying for me. I am like really OCD about how things look, so that really annoys me. I mean, why on earth have the publishers and the creators made it like that? It just does not make sense at all. before. But the actual book and the content sounds absolutely amazing. Again, I just can't wait to read that. Will Grayson, that'll be on my to-read list soon. Can't wait to do a review on it. So those are generally all the fiction books that I got this time, so there were quite a lot. I hope you all enjoyed seeing all them. And now it's time for one non-fiction book which was actually given by my grandparents. My granddad actually gave me this book because it's really interesting, and it's basically about a place where I'm going on holiday this year, and it is the Caribbean. You know, this is a National Geographer travel guide kind of thing, and it just sounds really interesting. There's some great pictures in here, and I thought I'd just add it on to the end of this haul because whilst I haven't paid for it, it's mine now, and it just sounds so good. I mean, it looks like a beautiful place. I just can't wait to go. Actually, I think it's like 11 weeks or something until I go. I just can't wait. I just want to go right now. If you want me to be more specific, I'm going to the Dominican Republic, and I'm going to Puerto Plata, which I'm actually reading about right now, and it just sounds so good. Looks like an amazing place. There's a picture right there. I just can't wait to go there. I mean, I've never really been that far on holiday before, to be honest, and I think it's something like 9 to 10 hours away or something, which is quite a long way, but I'm excited. Actually, on the plane I'll be able to read a lot, and I might actually take this with me so I can sort of refer back to stuff in here. And this is basically just a really good non-fiction guide to the Caribbean. I may as well just read out what it says up here just for your knowledge. Take a tour of the Caribbean guided by National Geographic, the generation synonymous with a thrill of discovery and exploration. Featured sites include both famous and lesser known places, selected to help you experience the region in a fresh and exciting way. I just can't wait to go to the Caribbean. It just sounds so much fun and so cultured and stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to get something from the culture, like a bookmark or something. Last year I got a bookmark from Turkey, which is really nice, and I showed that in my bookmark video a few videos ago. And I love going on holiday. I love travelling around the world. It's great fun. So, you know, if you've ever been to the Caribbean, tell me what it's like. I'm hoping it's good. I've heard so many good things about it so far, so yay. And I actually think that's going to be about everything for this video. So, you know, hope you all enjoyed this book haul. I know it was quite long, actually, probably my longest video on this channel, which may be a good thing for some of you lot, but it may be a bad thing if you dislike a lot of rambling and long videos, because I guess it was just kind of long. I'm sorry I couldn't do a long and short haul for this haul. I'm kind of busy at the moment with exams and stuff in school, as I mentioned a few videos ago, and I just don't have time at the moment to do 2 videos for this haul. So if you did watch all the way through, thank you so much for sticking with me throughout, however long it is, something like 16 minutes onwards, I know, and just thank you so much to every single person that's watched. So I guess I'll just see you all later.